Hi, I'm Tracy Foreman with Aging Partners, and I'm going to do some kind of different stuff today. We've done Simply Fit before, but today I want you to grab a plastic bag if you've got it, grab a paper plate, and get some, I've got some soup cans here and a couple of Dynabands. I'll talk about those in a little bit. But let's go ahead and start with a nice comfortable chair and get situated right in the center of that chair. Nice to get started working out this morning, and we're going to move into our core to begin with. So we'll do a little bit of seated, a little bit of standing today. Let's start with our feet wide and flat, arms down at our sides. Now first, let's just inhale up, halfway up, inhale, relaxing from the shoulders and kind of leaving those wrists limp a little bit here. Exhale back down and just lower those arms. Inhale up and exhale down. You see I'm breathing through my nose. That's the calming breath. Inhale up. The cooling breath is through the mouth. Exhale down. And one more time. Inhale now and hold right here. The exhale will take us forward with a reach and bring it back. Now inhale forward on the other side with a reach and bring it back. Exhale. Just keep your breath moving through this. And inhale forward. And exhale, bring it back. Let's bring our arms up to the sides here. And we'll look side to side. One hand and then the other. This is called stop signs, and it is going to help us to stretch into our neck muscles just a little bit. Also working our shoulders. Now when you turn and look at one hand, let's drop the other hand. And then turn and look and drop the other. So we'll just keep going like that for a little bit. Keep your breath moving. Very good. Keep moving and looking at those hands. So we're working our neck, shoulders, and of course into our arms and upper back. And then bring your hands forward, and we're going to cross over and just touch your palms. Seems pretty simple, but if you have tight shoulders, you're going to feel this one. Crossing over and touching. So we're moving now down into the spine just a little bit here. Inhaling one direction, and then exhaling as we come back. Inhale and reach. Exhale, open back up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And now let's lower down. Let's go ahead and come out toward the edge of our chair and bring our knees a little bit wider here. You can rest your hands on your knees because we're going to do a torso twist now, so you want to support yourself, bringing that torso around in a big circle here. I like this stretch. Hear a little creaking there. Not my bones. Go ahead, let's bring it around the other way. Reach the crown of your head out there and then move over to the side and lean back into it so you engage those abdominals, and then come around to the other side. Nice big circle there, and then switch your direction. Just kind of hit all points here as you go around in a circle. And now I'm going to have you come up to the center, and let's drop one arm down at the side. Just drop it down. Feel the stretch moving up the opposite side of the body. We're just warming up right now. Inhale, come up, and exhale, drop it down to the other side. Nice stretch up the opposite side of the body. And then we'll inhale back up to center. Let's get started with some of the things that I've brought from home. And hopefully you'll have some paper plates around the house somewhere. Most of us do. You can use a lightweight plate otherwise. We're not going to be tossing these or anything like that. So let's just begin with that plate overhead, as if you're putting a cap on your head. We'll work into our core a little bit here by tipping our hat down. So we'll tip our hat and bring it down, bending at the waist, and then bringing it back up. Let's incorporate the breath with that. Inhale as you lean forward, look down at your plate, and exhale as you come up. Doing a little bit of a shoulder rotation as well here as we come forward. Engage those abdominals as you pull up, and think about using your back to bring yourself back up to an upright position. Use those back muscles and those abdominals. Now let's bring the plate down, and we'll do it on the other side. Bring it up, but this time we're going to come out to the side and down. So tipping your hat to the side and bringing it up. Let's do an inhale right here, and then we'll exhale as we move down to the side. Inhale up, feeling that stretch in your back and in your side muscles. Exhale down. Inhale up. Now let's switch sides. Exhale to the side and inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. One more time on each side. Just keep your breath moving. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Let's bring that plate in front. We'll work a little bit more into the shoulders. When you push forward, pushing away, you're going to drop your head here and then pull back. So we'll bring the breath into this. Exhale as you push forward. Feels good in the upper back. Inhale as you pull back. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Let's just do a couple of pushes off to the side now. Push over to the side and then bring it back. Push over to the other side, bring it back. So just moving side to side, feeling those core muscles working, feeling a little bit of stretch into the back area, and of course shoulders. Push and back and push and back. Let's do just a couple more things with the plate, and then we'll move to one of our other items here. So let's go to a knee lift, resting one hand on your knee. We're going to lift that knee up and touch with the plate. Now if you need to, you can always bring the plate down a little further, but challenge yourself to bring that knee up to the plate if you can. That means we're going to rock back a little bit on our sits bone. So working into the pelvic region, doing a pelvic tilt here as we lean back. And then engaging that quad muscle at the top of the leg. Just keep your breath moving. You don't want to hold your breath. Sometimes we don't realize we're holding our breath, so make a conscious effort to breathe through it. Let's do it on the other side. If you can do at least 5 on each side, eventually we want to work up to doing 8 to 10 on each side if you can. Let's do 2 more on that side. Now, I'm moving my plate a little lower on that one, so if this is all the higher you can lift, that's okay. Now we're going to change it, and we're going to get into it a little bit further here. So stretch it out and reach down and touch your toe. Then switch hands and reach out, touch your toe. Feeling that hamstring stretch here. We're also feeling that stretch into the calf a little bit and into the quad muscle. Stretch it out there. Good job. Let's bring our knees wide, and we're just going to draw a big circle here. Drawing that big circle. Hitting all 4 points of the sits bones, just like we did with that big circle stretch with our torso. We want to bring it around and stretch those arms way out in front. Work it just a little bit here, get some energy into it. Now let's go to the other side here, the other direction. Pull it around. You can see I'm tilting into the torso area by bending at the waist here. And one more time, pull it around and back. We're going to drop that plate to the floor, but we won't use it just yet. Let's go ahead and grab our plastic bag. If you don't have 100 of these in your house, I would be surprised, so most of us do. Well, let's start with the bag. This simple tool allows us to work on hand and eye coordination, flexibility, and we'll kind of work a little bit with our grip also with this bag. So first let's start going side to side, just catching some air in your bag here. Side to side, we're rocking just a little bit, working on hip flexibility here and pelvic mobility. Easy enough, right? Now we're going to catch air up, so bring it way up and then come down and scoop over the floor. Bring it way up, keep your breath moving and down. Let's inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down, and one more time. Inhale up and exhale down. We know as we get older, our reflexes change a little bit. So I'm going to have us do a little bit of hand and eye coordination and reflex work. The way we'll do that is to throw this bag up in the air and then just grab it. Throw it up, grab, throw it up, and grab. Now this is kind of a fun one to do with other people. So if you have other people that are exercising with you, just get your plastic bags and do this together, or throw it to each other and have them catch the bag that you've thrown to them. So just hand and eye coordination and then reflexes. And let's do it on the other side now. Throw it up and catch, simple catch. And throw it up and catch. Throw it up and catch. And there you go. Now we're going to take this bag and throw it over our head and catch it on the other side. Up and over and catch. Now they don't always get enough air in them to get up and over, so if you can keep the bag open just a little bit, throw it up and over. Up and over. We're stretching into our shoulders here a little bit. Up and over. Up and over. The kids and grandkids like to play this with you, tossing bags back and forth to each other. Oops! The nice thing is these are not heavy. So reach up and over and catch. All right. Now, let's go ahead and come away from the back of the chair. We're going to circle this bag behind. So working across the shoulder here, we're going to pull behind and then out in front. So we're stretching those shoulders. Working into our upper back also here. Bring it around and back and around in front. Back and in front. Let's switch directions now. Feeling the work in the shoulders. Keep your breath moving here. One last time. Bring it there. Now I'm going to have us bring this bag down to the floor also. I brought another bag so we can kind of do a little bit of strength work here. And the way we can add weight for our strength work is to get your soup cans out of the cabinet. This is all stuff you have at home, and put them in. Each soup can weighs just under a pound, but I did bring chunky soup, and so chunky soup is a little bit heavier. You put 2 to 3, sometimes 4 of these in a bag. Now, if you want a heavier bag, if you have worked yourself up to a heavier amount of weight, I have a canvas bag here. These plastic ones don't always hold up under a lot of weight. And I have rocks in here. So you can always add rocks, and there's rocks everywhere. So if you can find some and put them in a bag, and I usually weigh them. This one here is about 6 pounds with the rocks in it. And then this one here is going to be right at about 2 pounds. So I recommend starting out with a lower weight, at least 2 pounds though, if you can do that. So let's just do some basic bicep curls. Keeping your elbow in close to your body, and we're just going to curl up and down. And I'll turn this way so I get it to the outside of my leg. Curl up and down and up and down. When you're doing any kind of strength training, you want to try to do at least 8 on one side and 8 on the other. If you can do up to 15, 15 reps would be a full set. So 8 though is a great place to start. If you can't do 8, do 5. Whatever works for you when you're first getting started. And then let's take it to the other side. Pretty easy. The bags give you that built-in handle, which is nice. I'm doing 5 on each side. Now let's bring your knees wide and bring that bag in front. We're going to do kind of a deadlift from the shoulder straight up and down, up and down. So you can feel that in your shoulder. Straight up and down. Now let's switch to the other side. Grab that bag, and then let's do it on the other side and down. Straight up and down, just lifting straight up in front. You don't want to start using 10 pounds of weight when you're first getting started with a strength program. Start with a lower 2 to 5 pound weight, and then work your way up by 2 pound increments. So, okay. Now one more we're going to do, bringing it forward, and if you have a little heavier weight, or you're just adding rocks as you go along, like I'm going to do here, then you can do just some lifts right up in front. So leaning over your weight and pulling up to your chest and down, working into your shoulders and upper back. Also doing a little bit of core work. When you're adding extra weight, you're working into your abdominal area. Bicep, little tricep work here. Lift up and down and up and down. Strength training, remember, helps you to burn calories when you're resting. Cardiovascular exercise helps you to burn calories at the time that you're doing the exercise. But it's that strength training that is so important when you're trying to burn calories and you're sitting watching TV or reading or even sleeping. So get the strength stuff in there. Now I brought a couple of, these are called resistance bands or Dynabands, and these can be purchased at most stores like Walmart or Target. Aging Partners has these available too. They are $4. They're pretty reasonable. So if you're interested, we can send you out a resistance band or Dynaband. So we're going to start at chest height, and if you don't have any Dynabands right now, if you have any of the larger rubber bands or just even a dish towel, but we are going to be doing some stretching with this, so you won't be able to do that with a dish towel, but just hold it at chest height. And the first thing we'll do is just turn a little bit, so you can use your dish towel for this one, and turn, turn. Our telephone number will be at the end of the program, so you'll be able to give us a call and order if you'd like to. So now we're just doing spinal twists side to side. Let's go ahead now and add a little bit of resistance in here. We're going to pull out. We're adding some strength moves here and using a little bit of resistance. Our band has the built-in resistance here. So pulling out to the side, pulling out and in, pulling out and in, out, in and out and in. Now I'm going to hold one end in very close to my body, and with the other arm I'm going to push out and back, moving a little bit more into my tricep, working into my deltoids just a little bit here, pushing out. And I can also feel muscles in my chest working, my pectoral muscles, when I do this push. Bring the other side in. Always want to keep that elbow in close and push, push, push. Remember, another great resistance tool is your own body. So using your body as resistance is always a good thing to do. And I'll show you some examples of that right now. Let's go ahead and drop that band. There are many other things you can do. And we do have sheets on different resistance exercises you can do. When you rise from the chair, nose over toes, rest your hands on your knees or cross your arms at your chest. Nose over toes, power up through your legs and come to a standing position. I'm going to have you just stand at the side of your chair here. And let's step back into just a standard lunge. This is a great stretch. You might have heard it called a runner's lunge, but front foot forward, other foot back, and we're going to try to keep our torso centered over our hips now. And let's lean into it. Just lean into it a little bit, feeling the stretch in that back calf muscle. Let's raise up now. Crown of the head goes toward the ceiling. Lower it back down. Raise up, keep your breath moving, so inhaling on the rise and exhaling as you lower down. Inhale and exhale. Let's step that foot forward and we'll bring the other foot back. Holding on to the chair if you have balance issues, this is going to help you to keep in your center here. Let's just stretch that leg back. Now lean into the front knee just a little bit. Nice long stretch up the back of that back leg. Now inhale, pull up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. Exhale down. Part of a good fitness routine is working on balance. And so I'm going to show you some ways that you can begin to work on your balance. Let's bring our feet wide here. I'll step forward just a little bit. Bring your feet wide and we'll just do some lunges over to the side. Bring your arms up, side to side. So we're changing our center of balance here just by doing these little lunges side to side. Simple, but it does start to warm your core up a little bit when you do that. Now I'm going to have you change what you're doing with your arms. We're going to raise up and over, and then up and over on the other side. Getting our back muscles into this and our side muscles. Up and over, and up and over. Now let's change it again. We're going to take it into a twist here a little bit as we reach across and reach across. Again, changing our center of balance. We'll do a couple more balance exercises here with the chair to assist. Back. And then we're going to bring our arms up and step in and lower down. Bringing in a little qigong there, I guess. So, all right, if you need the help of your chair, keep the chair close. But what we're going to do is raise our knee and just bring our hands, but hold on with one if you need to. We're just going to bring our hand down and touch our knee, and then touch our other knee. Hold the chair if you need to. You don't have to do both arms, but raising the knees is going to help because we're transferring weight here. Stepping from one foot to the other. Transferring our weight, stepping and stepping. Now I'm going to have you do what's called a side lift to strengthen this IT band here along the side of your leg. What I want you to do is barely lift your foot off the floor and keep your toe pointed forward. And then lower. Lift and lower. Just a couple inches off the floor, not very high, and keep that toe pointed forward. Lift and lower and lift and lower. Let's do that on the other side. You can switch to the other side of your chair if you just want to step out a little bit. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Using my body now as resistance here. And the work is actually in the standing leg, so you can feel that in the standing leg. Okay, and then the other lift you can do is just that little short lift back, not very high, and engaging your gluteus maximus, or your rear end muscles. Set it down, and let's go to the other side. Lift, squeeze that muscle, lift, lift. One more time. Lift. Okay, so let's go ahead. The last few minutes here, let's go back to our seated position. And now remember, I had you drop that plate on the floor, and there was a reason for that. I'm going to have you put your foot now on top of that plate, and we're going to draw some circles now. Working into the inner thigh, working into the ball and socket joint of the hip, quad muscle, and hip flexor here. So just drawing a circle. It's a little harder on carpeting, but it still works. Now just change your direction. Go the other way. And then we'll switch to the other side. Not hard to do, but you can feel this one. And then let's go the other direction. Now this is everybody's favorite in class, and that's actually not true. It's not everybody's favorite. I'm going to have you grab the plate between your feet, and we're just going to push it out and pull it back. So I've rocked back now on my sits bones, and I've engaged my abdominal muscles here. Where you really feel the work is in your core and your low back and your abdominals and the tops of your legs and your flexors here. Let's bring that plate up to the knees now. You'll never look at a paper plate the same way after today. So let's go ahead and drop our knees to the side and then to the other side. Cross-country skiing or skiing the slopes here. So cross-country is really forward and back, but we're doing some downhill skiing here. You can imagine that. And side to side, we're just dropping our feet to the side. You can feel it. Do what you can do, but don't try to overdo it the first time or two. Shake your plate off a little bit and bring your knees wide. We're going to fan ourselves. Now we're actually working into our wrist. Feels good to fan ourselves though. There you go. Flapping the plate using your wrist. Let's change to the other side. Flapping again that plate. Changing to the side. Okay, let's take that plate now and we're going to bring it back up overhead. And we'll do just a little bend of the upper back, middle back, and the neck. Bring it up and drop it down to about your knees. Bring it up. Drop it down. Do at least 5 to 6 of these. And bring it down. Now you can drop that plate back down, and we won't use that again. But let's do just a couple of very basic stretches. Stretch your arms out wide. Inhale. Imagine somebody's pulling on your middle fingers with strings. And on the exhale, let's drop our head and come into a hug. Now inhale. Drop your head, come with the other arm on top now. Drop your head and come into a hug. Inhale, reach it out one more time and relax those arms down. Nice job. You did it, and that was Simply Fit. Just use some things you have at home and use your body as resistance. Great job. Stay healthy.